Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. For me, it's really early in the morning. It's right at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm having trouble sleeping, so I'm going to stream for a little bit and mess around with something that was asked of me so that I can demonstrate some uses for my teleporter, a simple teleport system that, sorry, I'm pouring myself a drink. Probably shouldn't be consuming much sugar before I go to bed. But, oh well. I never said I was intelligent. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've created a new level. And I've come in here and I'll go ahead and I'll save it as... I've already got a test, a lobby, a main, hats, teleports. That sounds good to me. So let's go ahead and just do a quick lighting build so it saves that. Hey Crusher, how you doing, bud? Lighting build failed. Lovely. Okay. So essentially, I'm just going to create a couple little teleports that will work a couple different ways to get you from point A to point B. So the map, as you can see, we're one of the polygon characters. The map is just nothing. Just a basic little simple nothing area. So this is going to be our, we'll say our starting area, or this could be part of our regular map, or whatever. It doesn't really matter what this is. It could be anything you want it to be. But what I'm going to do here also is I'm going to copy this, Control C, and then Control V. So I have now a second one. And what I'm going to want to do here is I'm going to move it around. We have all this virtual nothing space to work with. So we can say, like, maybe this is the interior of one building, and let's create another one over here. What I'll do is I'll go to my details panel, and you always want to kind of make it to where it's a simple coordinate you can go to. 10,000 on the X, and we'll put this one on 10,000 on the Y, and let's make sure that this one is 000, and it's good. So everything else is zeros except for 10,000 on the middle, 10,000 on this way, and if we want to, we can add another one in and make it negative 10,000. So now we have 3 different areas we want to teleport to. So what I'll do is I'll just come in here and let's see what I got to work with here. I got a few asset packs thrown in. And so we have something to look at. Now we don't want materials, we want meshes. Buildings. Okay, for an example, like say if we wanted to go to the interior of a building that just doesn't have an interior. We'll say like this little guy right here. I know it's kind of a small area to work with for a map, but it's just for demonstration purposes. We're pretending this is part of our town, and we want to go inside this building. But this does not have an interior. If we start playing, we walk over here, and we can't go in. In fact, I don't even like the collision on this one. So let's quickly do a quick change on the collisions instead of this complex, and save, and now we can get a little closer. So we can do teleports in a couple different ways. Say if we want to go into this building here, we could actually set up a box to where we have the option to hit the letter E on our keyboard and teleport to the interior of that building. So we can do it that way. Teleports could be like a teleporter pad. There's other ways to use this basic system for transporting you from point A to point B. So let's actually come over here to this one, and we'll make this the interior of that house. So I'm not going to be perfect on this. I don't, not trying to make a full game out of this. I'm just making a, just a quick demonstration. So need some floor tiles. House interior floor. Alright, and they're 500 by 500, so that's going to work out pretty good. So let's actually raise it up just a hair so it's above the floor. So 10, that's good. And let's go with 9750. Control C, Control V, and I'm going to paste. No, you ass. Control. Thank you. I don't know why Control C and Control V, something quite as simple as that, wants to fight me. And Control V, let's paste another one in. This is a small house, so we're only going to make it 2x3 tiles. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab all 3 of these. And let's put them right there. And we want... We're not worried about the exterior, we just need the interior of the house. Just for this example here. Whatever, let's just go with that. And let's put it at 250. Yep, that's good. And let's go with 9500. Oh, you suck. Control C, Control V. I blame the keyboard. It's not a loose nut behind the keyboard here. Control C, Control V. And then let's rotate that around. And move it over here. So we just want to quickly create the interior section of this house. Interesting. It's double layered. That's nice. So, yep, that's good enough. And we'll throw some other stuff in here. We had a front door, so let's go ahead and put in that one. So this is all just kind of like by request. And I want to line that up. Is it 3? Yep, that's perfect. So we're just trying to create a faux interior. And I want to put a door up on that so that, you know, we can see that there's a door. And again, we're going to rotate that. And we just need it good enough. Yep, that's good enough. So now I just want to finish putting the rest of the interior walls in here. Control, let's see, let's get both of these. Like I said, this is the nice thing about Cinti Studio assets. This is all from the town pack, so this stuff is great for building custom interiors for your homes, houses, apartment complexes, whatever, hotels. Not really worried about windows or anything else. We're not trying to get fancy here. We just want to get this to where it's the interior of the house. I'm not even going to put a roof on, just because, you know, we need this. Now, we can do this a couple different ways, and let's see, let's make sure this is in the right spot. So if I right click and select play from here, now I'm inside. You can see we can't get out. The door's not lined up perfectly, but whatever. Let me turn off snapping, and I will make it many much more perfecter. Yeah, I had a bunch on my mind, so I just really couldn't sleep. So this is why I'm doing this stream. So I could make this into a full house if I want to, and what have you. But I'm not worried about adding all the little stuff in, like beds and sinks and whatnot. Now, what I do want to do is, hey Jesper, welcome, bud. I'm going to go in here and just make a new folder called stuff. This hurricane's, the wind's starting to pick up a little bit now. It's not going to get bad until probably about 8-10 more hours from now. like North Carolina, where it's smacking it pretty good right now. I'm going to make a new blueprint. Actor. Teleport. We're just going to call this one House. So what I want to do is, and I don't have to get really crazy and try to figure out where I am now, but what I'm going to do is I'll go in here, and I'm not going to put like a teleport pad down because I don't really need one. I'm just going to add in a I'm going to add in a scene component. It's basically, it's a nothing. It's an invisible item. So I'm going to go to my event graph, and on event begin play, we can notify the player character that, hey, I am the location for the house. So we can set that up as a variable, or let's actually get a little bit more complex. The last video that I talked about doing these teleports was a very simple way of doing things. We could actually come in here and miscellaneous. So we could actually do don't really want a string table. Data table. Let's actually look at that. Pick the structure. Array of actor. No, actually I want a structure. Let's just do it this way, and look here. Nah, let's do it this way. Using a structure and using ways of storing information. So let's create a structure, and it may not be what I'm actually looking for, but we'll go in here, and yeah, we can actually use this. And what we can do here is now set up this first one, the member var whatever. So I'm actually going to call this our house coordinates, house chords, and I want to save this type as a vector. So now I can actually save this, and now I can put whatever I want in this vector, and it will actually be our house coordinates. So let's go ahead, and quick way to find out where you want your teleport coordinates to be is how you can just take anything. I'll grab a sphere, drop it in here, and let's we're at 10. We want this to actually be at 100. We're going to zero that coordinate out, and 10,000. We're going to zero basically a known coordinate level, so it's going to be easier. There's Skippy. So all we've done is we've made the interior for this house, and we got the house over there. I'll go back to the house in just a minute. And let's actually, I want it to be right in front of the door. So let's actually look at the door is actually at 9880 and negative 120, but let's go ahead and move it to here. Let's go with negative 150 for our teleport coordinate. And again, this is a structure. Negative 150. We're at 9880. 9880. So we're going to save our teleport coordinates here. And so this is going to be let's make it 150, whatever. And we're going to hit save. I'm going to keep this one open. And I'm actually going to come back to this one in just a minute. So what we've got here is our center starting map, if we hit play, it'll put us here. We have our little town. I want to go into this house. So how do I get into this house? And this building has no interior whatsoever. It's just a solid block. So what I want to do is I want to come up here and I want to have a pop-up window say, hey, can I, would you like to enter this house? And if I hit E to enter, then it's going to teleport me over to here and put me in the interior of this house where this is. And I'm actually going to go ahead and delete that down because I don't need it. So I'm going to hit save all, so I save everything here. So that's what that's going to do. It's going to teleport us to this house, to that interior. You could close it off completely and do your lighting and your furniture and make it however you want to. These are just primary examples. So now I'm going to go back into my, let's close that structure down. Go back into my teleport house, and inside here what we've got is nothing. We want nothing. So we need a box collision. We can actually get rid of the scene. We don't need the scene component. I was going to drop that in and do something different, but I'm just going to keep it simple, and we're going to do a box collision, and that's all we need. And I'm going to go ahead and compile and save, then go to the event graph. I'm going to right click on the box collision, add event, on component begin overlap. From the other actor, I want to go to cast to player _ base. That's my character. It could be third person character, could be whatever your player character actually is what you need to cast to in this part right here. So as we cast to our third person character, our player base, or whatever, this is where we want our trigger. This is what's going to trigger this event. We can actually get in here another variable if we want to. Get teleport. Probably should have changed the name of this to something else here. So I'm going to go ahead and F2, and I'm going to call that structure my teleport coordinates. Teleport chords. Actually, no, that's what we actually called. No, it's house coordinates. Okay, we're good. Never mind. I only thought I made a mistake. So what we want to do is we want to teleport our character to that, but let's go into our player character, set up another variable. Let's compile and save just to be on the safe side. Go to our player character, or in this case player _ base, and I want to create a variable. What was that one? Oh, okay, that was the some other stuff that I was playing around with on another stream here. Duffel bag and changing the character and that kind of stuff, and putting on a mask. So yeah, I was just doing put on a mask, take it back off, and what was the other key? V is in Victor. Let's just get rid of this stuff. We don't need it. The duffel shuffle. Event tick that allowed that to work. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of that too. Clear up some confusion of stuff that's in this blueprint that we don't need. I'll leave the mask. What the hell? So what we're going to do is we're going to create a variable, and I'm just kind of like back and forth. As our player base, let's actually go back into our stuff folder. We also want to create a widget. So I'm actually going to put teleport to house. I'm going to put the box collision here, and I just want to bring it up here to where it's good enough. When we walk up to that door, it's going to give us the option there to pop up a little bit of text and ask us, do we want to enter the house? Alright, that's good enough. So let's actually go ahead and create that widget. So let's go over here, user interface, and widget blueprint, and let's go with enter underscore portal. I'll probably change that name as well. So all we want to do is just come up here and throw some text in. And the text we want it to say is press E to enter. We'll just leave it at that. Press E to enter. Alright. So now we got that. Press E to enter. Let's just go ahead and, instead of it being dead center, let's go ahead and make it 250. Make sure it centers on that. We'll anchor it to the center of the screen, but we don't want it dead center. We want it at about -300. So it's above the player's head so we can actually see it. And we'll do it at -125 so it is centered up on the screen. So that's all we really need from this. And let's go ahead and create a variable of at teleporter. So compile and save. Now, in our event graph, or our graph here, so what we want to do is, I'm going to delete those. Compile, save, so it's clean. Can't use an event begin play here. But what we can do is, we want to be able to hit a key. We want to hit E to enter, so press E to enter. So how are we going to get this to go away once we're not there? So we need to cast to player underscore base, and we are going to have to do an event tick, connect that to here, and we want to get a reference to get player character. Now, if this was going to be true multiplayer, then you'd want to do this differently. But for single player, this is going to work just fine. You want to refer to the game mode and that kind of stuff. So as player base, we want to no, we need to actually go into the teleporter. And first off, we need to set at teleporter. We want it to be true if we are overlapping on it. However, if we step off of it, now we can go back to our box, right click, add event on component end overlap. I'm going to Control C, Control V, connect that to there and other actor to here. So we're going to do the reverse. So when we're not overlapping, when we're not standing in it, we're going to uncheck that. So we're no longer at the teleporter. So that's good. We're good to go on the teleporter itself. We shouldn't need anything else right now for that. And end portal, we want to set at teleporter. I'm sorry, we want to get at teleporter. And if the answer is no, we're actually going to get rid of this. So instead of saying, hey, we're there, what we want to do is do this, and we want to do one more thing here too. So with this, we're checking our variable, we're setting it to yes, we can use it, or we are at the teleporter. So this right here, we just want to remove from parent. I know I'm jumping back and forth, I'm tired and can't concentrate. So inside the widget blueprint event graph, if you look, all it's going to say is press E to enter, and it's just going to get, if we're at the teleporter, then it's going to say, okay, no problem. If we're not at the teleporter, it's going to go away. So we need to uncheck that, go from the false to here. So if it's true, we're not worried about that right now. Nothing on the true mark. But we are going to add something in there. So let's actually move that over here. And we're going to create another variable. And it is going to be called port coordinates. We're going to make that a vector, compile and save. So what we want to do here is get a reference to the player. No, we can actually do this another way. Go into our teleport house. Since we've already got, when we're overlapping now, we're already setting that variable as well. Come on, wake up. I'm trying to move around the damn thing. Gee, thank you. Can I continue? All right. So let's go ahead and let's create another variable. I like variables. I make lots of variables. So we're trying to make this to where we can set up multiple teleporters so that they will function in a certain way. So let's make this one called house location, and let's set that as a vector and compile and save. So now that we can actually enter this for the location, now we can actually do a couple things. What I would like to do is find teleport coordinates, the structure itself, and I want to get that information from there instead of manually entering it in here. So how are we going to find that? How are we going to get access to this structure? Do we type in structure? New. Do we create a new variable and teleport struct? And for the variable type, is it a struct? Structure. And let's scroll down the structure list here. And what do we call that one? That was called, what the hell was it called? It was called teleport chords. So let's come in here and teleport house, teleport coordinates right there. So let's compile and save. And there's our information we need right there. So what we want to do here is also we want to set teleport coordinates, link that up to there, and to get these teleport coordinates we want to get a reference to our teleport struct. Currently we only have one, so not really a big deal, but let's break and nope, we don't want to break it. We want to get that information from here. If you just break teleport coordinates, then it's not going to give you what you actually need. Let's see if we can get it from a 4. Nope. Let's see here. Nope. It's been a while since I've actually done this. Because if we just did that, then okay, there it is. The house coordinates. Because we only have one in there, we would just drag that link from there to there, and that's going to do it. So I'm just going to neaten this up just a little bit. So now we can store these teleport coordinates in a structure and call them back anytime we want from any blueprint we need by doing it that way. So now we've just set our teleport coordinates by interacting with this. When we overlap this, it automatically goes to our character and it tells it we're trying to teleport to the house. Does that make sense? Anybody lost yet? Questions, comments, rants, raves? Let's save that. We'll see if we need to come back to it again. Playerbase. We need to actually be able to do something here. So I'm actually going to come over here and I'm going to type in escape because I can't remember the name for it. So we'll do that, and we're actually going to change it up here in the input key to a keyboard command, letter E. So now when we press E, we want to get a reference to this. So we want to, it'll work for multiplayer, but there's only a mild change you have to do. The only difference that makes it for multiplayer is, in which you can test this out later too, but what will make it not for multiplayer is, I'm not sure yet. I'll come back and I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure this should work for multiplayer as well. Oh yeah, it was just for casting to the player character. I don't want to cast the player character in a multiplayer if I don't have to. I want to save it all to the game instance instead. So you just have to do it a little bit different way. Just get with me later and I'll hammer that out so that you can understand that we're going to save it to the game instance and then draw it back from the game instance. Not a big deal. It's just where you're saving the variable, and that's all. So we press E. We're going to check to see if we are at the teleporter. And if we are at the teleporter, then at that point we can go ahead and just teleport, because it's already automatically set our teleport coordinates. So now all I have to do is, alright, what's the command? What's the command? Come on, you guys know. Set actor location. The location that we want to go to, target itself naturally, is the teleport coordinates. So now we can plug that into here. Is this going to work though? Am I done? Will it work? So if we come over here, we haven't told it to do the to set the widget yet, but it did work. It did teleport us to our new location, and we're now in the house. And then we'll have to do the same thing and add a new coordinate to be from house to town or whatever. So, but that worked. We just didn't get the prompt. So if we want to get the prompt to work, we just need to add a few more little things in here. And I don't know why I'm worried about flying back over here. Is let's actually move this out of the way. That's going to be the end result. We are going to set the actual location and teleport us to the new location. But also we want to go ahead and off of the event tick. Where'd you go? There you go. From the event tick, we need to check to see if we're at the teleporter. So I'm going to do well, I could just copy these two right here. It's the same thing, Control C and Control V. So on event tick, it's going to check to see if I'm at the teleporter. And if I am at the teleporter, then it's going to then do what? It's going to create the widget. The widget that we want is enter portal, and owning player then is cast to player controller. That's going to be for the individual, not the individual that's there, instead of the actual everybody or just a player character. So we need to also add to viewport so we can see it. No, we don't want to cast it. What the hell is your problem? Get player controller. Damn it, you guys were going to let me do that. So we get player controller, and we're going to create that portal. We're going to put it in our face place, and let's see what happens now. So if we walk over here and we step on that, press E to enter. But if I walk away, that option goes away. See, I'm hitting E right now. You can see me. You can see my finger, right? See, you can see right down there. I'm pressing the E key. It's doing nothing. But if I come over here, press E to enter, and I hit it, and bang, we just teleported. So now if I want to leave, we would just have to create another teleport and add that in there. And let's go ahead and do the same thing. We want to create another teleport, so like teleport house. Then let's actually leave our player character for now. I'm just going to go ahead and teleport house, and I am going to duplicate it and teleport from house. I wouldn't use it like this. I would give them defined names of if you know that that house is going to be house number 1, or you can say H1, or give it an appropriate name so that you know what's what. So in teleport from house, we need to go ahead and update our structure. Go to teleport coordinates, and we want to add a new one in here. So click on new variable, and we're going to call this exit house. And again, it's going to be a vector. We're going to hit save, and now we need to get that vector location. So let's go back to the house. You know what? We could even set it up to where it stores the information, but I just want you to see how you can store these information in a structure so you can call these back anytime. So let's actually, I'm going to click on this. This is where I want to come back to, but let's actually now, I want to go ahead and teleport a little bit farther away from the house. So that's good. 400. Well, screw it. 390, 390. I mean, I could do 400, 400. Easy numbers to remember. So we want to teleport back to here. 400, 400, 150. So in this, we can do 400, 400, 150. The only reason why I'm doing 150 is to make sure that we don't teleport into the ground and fall through it. We want to teleport just slightly above the ground so we can fall onto it. So we'll hit save, and that's all we need from here. So if we go into save all, you can see it wanted me to save teleport house, because now if we pull it up, that whenever I did the break on it, it now has both of them. So I'm going to compile and save. That's good. That's lovely. Teleport from house. We want to break that because we're not going there. We're going to do it from the exit house. So basically the same thing, except for when we teleport from house, this, we go over here and plant in front of the door. Teleport from house. So you can see it's invisible, but it gets right there in front of it. I'm actually going to go ahead and move it a little bit closer and then make it a little bit wider. It's not perfectly spaced, but and it'll bug the crap out of me if it's not evenly spaced for the most part. Skippy, why the hell are you sending me a Discord message while I'm streaming? I will punch you in the nose. So will it work now to get us back? Well, come over here and, well, first off, we need to get rid of that sphere. We don't need it anymore. It was just for me to get my coordinates. Come over here, press E to enter, teleport into the house. Now if I come over here, I didn't have to do anything with my widget thing. It works. Now I hit that, and I'm back outside the door of the house. So we're good to go. So I can come over here, enter the house, take care of what I want to do, come back over here, and leave the house. If we want, we can actually go back into our teleport cords, and let's actually make it 120. Let's put that one up, leave that one at 150. Just so we can say all we have to do now is just change those coordinates again. And I'm going to go ahead and save all, make sure everything's good. So now when I hit play, walking around town, everything's lovely. Oh, this is a nice house. I want to see what's inside here. Bang. Okay, I can check out the house. Man, there ain't shit in here. I want to go back. So I go back to the door, press E to enter. Even though we're not entering or exiting, but you know what I'm saying. You get the point. You could change it from press E to enter. You could just change that widget to change the text to use door. Lovely, right? So let's change it to 300, and we'll do negative 150. We're still anchored to the center. Let's actually do negative 400. Make it a little higher on the screen. So now we'll go over here to press E to use door. Okay, we're doing our thing. Come back, press E to use door, and that's it. And that's how you can use a structure to save a variable's data in here, and then you can call that data back from anywhere. Any other blueprint can now call this information by doing that. You just create a new variable. Our structure is called teleport coordinates. So you can see teleport from house. All I did was I created a new variable, and whenever I did it, I just started typing in the name of the structure, and it came up. So I selected that. We're good to go. I drug off from there and selected break teleport coordinates, or the name of the variable, and it gives me all of the options right here. So house coordinates, exit house. You could actually, even if you wanted to, right click on it, and there was an option somewhere where you can actually hide the, like this right here. I'm not using it. You could watch this file. You can do it. There is a way of doing it where you could delete that from here or just not see it, but it's not worth worrying about. So now if we want to add in, since we have, go to the house and come back from the house. So what if we wanted to do something else here and add in another teleport to that location over there and that location over there? No problem. So let's go ahead and come up with something we can put in there. The church has an interior, so I'm not worried about that. You could just set any kind of house you want in there. Whatever. You know, I'm just going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to do something. What would be another type of teleporter you guys would want? Anything in particular? You know how I could set up this little kid swimming pool and set up a collision on the inside of it. So if you jump in this pool, you teleport to the moon or whatever, you know. or this pool. You jump in the pool and you teleport out. You can do pretty much anything you want to for the teleport. In-ground swimming pool, anybody? You want to use a throw rug for a teleporter? You're limited only by your imagination of what you want to do with these things. And if I wanted to set up another teleport location, all I have to do is go to the location that I want to go to, where I want you to land. Worst case scenario, you drag anything into the map, get the locations here, and what can you say, 0 and negative 10,000 puts me right there. And I'd want to do it at 120 height on Z height. So that will be the location for my next teleport, that if I want to add it in there. And all I've got to do is go back to my structure, teleport coordinates, and add a new variable. Let's just call this good way. I guess you could set it up to be to hotel, and I'll set that as a vector, and we'll do 0, negative 10,000, and 120. So I know that's where I want to go. So we'll save it, and let's go ahead and give us a new coordinate. So you can go away. I'm done with you now. We want to be able to return back to here, so let's just create a spot. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 120. So we'll teleport back to the middle of the map. And new variable from hotel. So since I'm still editing the same one, every new one I put in here is going to be a vector. So this is good. We'll just do a 120 on that and save. And we'll call this one right here our whatever dungeon. So I know that it's going to be 10,000, so we'll make a new variable. It disappeared. Where did it go? Oh no, I got to scroll down. So we want to call this to dungeon, and that's going to be 10,000 there, and 120. And then new variable, scroll down a little bit more. We're going to call this one from dungeon. And we want this one to be 0, 0, and 120. So it brings us back to the map. So I'm going to hit save, and I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now, you notice that these two need to be saved again, because blip, it's added them in here, and all I have to do is hit that arrow and it'll show them. So I'll compile and save. You don't have to compile and save. You can just hit save and it'll work. So I just want to go ahead and create a teleport location to teleport from. And by doing that, all we're going to do is create a teleporter. And I'm just going to duplicate this one. Doesn't matter which one we use. Teleport. We can actually just put it in TP underscore to dungeon. And this will be an easier way to actually keep them named. So I'm going to duplicate it again, and I don't want it to dungeon, so I want to come back here, and you can do F to minimize your file names. So to dungeon and from dungeon. So at that point, what do we need to change here? The only thing we need to change is grab this, move it down a little bit, so we have just a bit of room. Hit that arrow, and we're teleporting to the dungeon. So we can undo this line here. To dungeon goes here. Compile and save. And from dungeon, just move that down again. Give us the room to open this. And we're teleporting from the dungeon. So let's do that. From dungeon is now the teleport coordinates we're going to use. And I'm just going to go ahead and put down something so I can see what we're actually doing. The bathroom rug is going to carry us to the dungeon, we'll say, and we just need something here. Electrical cover is going to be the other one. So now I just go back over here, grab my blueprint. This is going to be to the dungeon, and we need one from the dungeon. And we said this was going to be the dungeon over here, right? Right. Is I right? Or am I being stupid again? So I'm actually just going to put that from dungeon. I'm going to drag it in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab my whatever to get us back, the rug. So I just need to grab that and put it on the rug where it's covering enough of it to where if we need to, we can rescale it, resize it, whatever we want to do. So as soon as we walk onto the rug, it's going to give us the option, do we want to teleport? And if we say E on the keyboard, then it'll teleport us. All the locations are already saved. I don't have to do anything else. So that one will work. So if I went to the rug, it teleports me here. And oh no, it's the wrong one. No, it's the right one. Shit. I just didn't see the damn thing on the ground. So come over here, and if I don't want to teleport, I can walk back off of it. You don't have to. And okay, it's just white. I couldn't see it. And there we go. We're back to where we started from. I could change the location to be right here again if I wanted to. I just left it at 0 just to get us back into this map. I'll show you one more time how to do this. It is super simple. So now if I want to make 2 dungeon and what was the other one called? What do we call it? What do we call it? Come on. Faster, guys. Hotel. So I want to do a duplicate, and we want to teleport to hotel, and I'm going to duplicate the other one, and we're going to call this from hotel. So it's just that easy to create these teleports now, and we've already gone through here and done this. So now we know that this is to the hotel. I need to break that line and drag it from to hotel to there. Compile, save, done. From hotel, break the line, and from hotel goes to here. It can't get much easier than that. To be able to juggle multiple teleport coordinates. So now I want to teleport to the hotel. So I just grab my teleport to hotel. You could put these anywhere you want on the friggin' map. You could put 900 of these down to teleport from the hotel or to the hotel or whatever, but you just need to make sure that your return pad is where you need it to be. So this is good enough for here. And our hotel is this one over here. And we used some little cover thingy. So I'm going to drag that in here and find the prop that I was using. It doesn't have to be the exact same thing. You could use whatever the hell you want to use. You don't even have to use anything if you don't want to. Doors are great because you walk over to a door and it's a representation. Hey, I want to use a door to get out of here. So you can go in and out of buildings, in and out of dungeons, in and out of whatever you want to go into or out of using the same thing. And hell, I'll come over here and put the fountain base in. So now the fountain base is actually our place we want to go to get out of this map. So I'm not actually creating a whole new map. If you are setting up your environments to where you want your house to interior to be somewhere where it's not visible to the rest of the map, go straight down. Go underneath your map area. It doesn't matter. I mean, you want to create your own lighting anyway, right? So I've done that plenty of times. Just go to when I'm creating a map and I want to set the interior somewhere. Like you go into the jail and you want to go into a jail. You want to go into a basement. Or what if you're going to an elevator? Elevators are a great way to get your player. If you're in a hotel, you want to go to another level, you can just create an elevator, and then instead of press E to teleport you to the new location, you could actually have that widget, instead of saying press E to use door, to actually pop up a little like a little menu, or the buttons for an elevator panel. And you could put the buttons down for the elevator panel. What floor would you like to go to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9,000, whatever, however many floors you want. And as soon as you hit that, you could actually, teleport them, or you can leave them right there where they are, and, just kind of make some sounds or whatever to make it feel like they're actually in an elevator. Like the doors close, and then you're sitting there, and, the doors would be locked. Nobody else could go into the doors. And then at the end of the timer of, it going to the actual floor you want to go to, it then teleports you, and then you're into the new elevator, and the doors open up, and you get out, you're in a new location. So there's just so many different applications for this. Cough medicine. I hope that's cough medicine. Okay. Yeah, that would suck if I grabbed a bottle of hydrogen peroxide or something. I try not to keep volatile chemicals on my desk, though. So the possibilities are really endless for setting up things. 'Cause, I mean, we just set up this to go to the interior of a house, go do our thing, or interior of a store, or you're walking down the hallway of a hotel, you decide, I want to go to this room, but you don't have to make 9,000 rooms. Hey bud, how you doing? So instead of having the hallway lined with countless copies of the same thing, all you got to do is just put that teleporter, and say, I'm just going to move these guys. These don't really matter all that much. So I just want to grab the teleporter and the rug, grab both of them together so I can just move them out of the way. And it's not going to matter because they don't need anything. They're going to continue to work. So grab you two. All I'm going to do is just show you that if you're setting up a hotel, and I don't know who would be setting up a hotel, but if you're setting up a hotel, all I'm going to do is just Control-C, Control-V. We're going to pretend that this is the hallway of a hotel. All I'm going to do is take this same one for teleport house, and I'm just going to copy it and move it over here to the other door. So as you're walking down the hallway, you don't have to create. If all the interiors of all the rooms in your hotel is going to look the same inside, it doesn't really matter. You don't want to build the same interior 4,300 damn times. Don't waste time building all those interiors when all you have to do is just put a door frame and a door in the hallway, and then put your blueprint here. Oh, I want to go into the interior of this room. Oh, okay, this is a nice little hotel room. This is cool. Okay, I want to go back out and go down the hallway, and okay, now I'm back in the hallway again, and I'm right back where I left from. So, and here's the thing though, is I just teleported back over to here, even though I went into here. So the only way that you could, okay, well, it doesn't really matter, it's just one room, but you could also say that whenever I press E to enter, you could go into your player character and actually create another variable. And let's go ahead and call that exit room stupid. You know, whatever you want to call it. And then just create it as a vector. Compile. So that we actually now have the ability to set that. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter where we are leaving from now. We got all this stuff right here. We're at a teleporter, and it's going to bring up the widget, and it's going to add it to our viewport. But we can also grab this and set that coordinate, exit room stupid. How we're going to get that location is we can actually grab a reference to our mesh, and let's stick it right over here and get our world location. And okay, that's cool. And now, instead of having it for each one of those on the teleport coordinates and all that stuff, make sure we can move these guys back over, because we don't need anything else there. Press E. We could have done that over here as well. Let's actually do that. So what we want to do here is we're pressing E to set our teleport location. And again, variables, variables, variables. So if I wanted to actually use the location of where I was whenever I pressed E to teleport the first time, no, we probably should have left it up there. But yeah, you could do it. You could set it up to where to exit the room, you're just saving your teleport coordinates here. Set up another, are you exiting the room, or whatever. You could set up a series of variables. Not actually going to get too complicated right now because we're already messing with things. So go to this room right over here. Ooh, cool. This is lovely. Oh, nice. There's nothing here. Well, let's get out of here. Okay. Well, let's try this one over here. Cool. Oh, there's nothing here. So instead of actually running the where it's like this one right here, if I teleport from this one and then I come back over and leave, it's putting me in front of this one. It's not where I left from. So if I leave from here, I need to set that variable. So whenever I press E, then I need to set the exit room. So we could actually do I know, we just moved you back over there again, but whatever. Get a reference to our exit room stupid and set it. No, we don't want to set it. We don't want to set it there. We were good over here to that. And no, actually, yeah, I'm confusing myself on how I want to do this. Let's compile and save. So let's actually look at the individual hopefully I'll be asleep in 30 minutes. I should have been asleep 7 hours ago. Teleport coordinates. instead of in our struct trying to make all these coordinates for every single solitary room in our hotel, if we're doing a hotel with 30 rooms or whatever, you don't want to have 30 entries into that. But if I'm not here whenever you get back, take care, bud. And like I said, I'll try to keep everybody updated in Discord as to what's going on with the hurricane with us here. So our teleport from, our TPF, teleport from, instead of using the these, like the from dungeon, from hotel, exit house, instead of using those, we can actually put in here in our struct, we can actually get rid of them from our struct, the from locations, and inside of our player character, now whenever we press E to enter a building, then it's going to save that coordinate for our return location. So in our teleport from, then what it would do is it would set, instead of teleport coordinates, it would actually set that variable that we can create in here, or in the character itself rather, and it'll actually come from your player character and you get that variable, which would be the return location. So whenever you come in here and you choose that I'm going to go into this room, by pressing E, it will save a variable which we could call return location. You guys want me to actually do it instead of describing it? Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying right there. So you actually go back to the right one. So we could actually go into the player coordinate and we'll change this to return location. So we know where we're going from. So when we actually step on, let's compile and save that, we go to our teleports, which is like this one right here. So for this particular one right here, we actually have the teleport coordinates of where we're going to. But we also want to go ahead and come from our, so we want our teleport to house and our teleport to stuff as well. We want to go ahead and get from our player base. We want to set return location. And from there, because it's actually where we actually physically are at the moment, I get a reference to my box. And for this return location, all I want to do is get world location. What I probably would end up doing is actually doing a vector plus vector and adding a buffer, so it would actually, you know, try to put you a certain distance away. But this will be good enough. It's going to get a reference to the location of the box and save that as well. So now what we want to do is on our teleport from, let's close our player up, our teleport from, which is the inside of the house. Oh, excuse me. Stuff. Teleport from house. So I'll go to teleport from house, and I'm not going to use the struct anymore for that location. What I want is get return location from the player and connect it back to here. So in theory now what's going to happen is, unless I screwed this up again, whenever I hit play, what was happening before is I come over to this one, I teleport, ooh lovely, nice, and I go out and I was coming back to the wrong one. So now we're at the left house. Let's go to the right house and enter. Oh, we're in the house, cool, let's exit the house, and we're now in the where we just came from. So we're setting a return location. So the teleport froms will all have that same basic information in. So I can go in here like the teleport from house. all I did was I got a reference from the player base or player character to get the return location, and there we go. So I'll actually go back in here to the teleport from dungeon, and again all I wanted to do was delete my structure and the break coordinates, and I'm setting my teleport coordinates to be get return location, and now I can go back to where I came from. So you could have 500 rooms and all you need is one entrance and one exit. Lovely, right? Teleport from hotel, again, delete those, and from our player base we want to get return location. Connect that. We're all set. Compile, save, close, and play. So now if I come over here and I teleport, ooh, lovely, I'm in a new area. Isn't that great? And I should have done that a different pad. I can barely see this damn thing over here. So now return, and hey, I'm right back. So it's actually using that location still. Return from hotel. Let me see something here. So I don't need the from, so I can select that. From dungeon, let's get rid of that, and from hotel, we don't need that anymore, and we don't need the exit house one. So it minimizes the amount of stuff that we actually have in there. So now our save all, teleport from house. Yep, there we go. And we don't need the teleport struct anymore in the froms. So I'm going to get rid of that, compile and save. And I'm just cleaning up right now. Teleport from dungeon. Let's get rid of teleport structure. And teleport from hotel. So essentially all we really need now is just the house location was 00000. We don't have anything for house location. We can actually get rid of that. We don't need that either, because that's the hotel anyway. Teleport from dungeon. We don't need that variable anymore, and it's even less information for us to store. Teleport to hotel. Teleport struct we still need. House location we don't need. And house location. Alright, any other questions on that one? I need to look at the reason why excuse me, jeez. Teleport from house. Get rid of that one. Need to verify it again one more time, make sure everything's working correctly. So now if I teleport here, it puts me in the center of the map. That's just where I told it to teleport to. So now whenever I return, it's putting me back in the center of the map. So why is it using that location? Teleport from house. No, from hotel. Let's see here. At teleporter, teleport location. Return location. Let's look at the player base just to make sure I got that correct, because the return location should be empty. There'd be nothing in it, and it's being saved nowhere. It's being saved in the teleport to. Teleport to the dungeon. Teleport house. Yeah, we needed to copy this information in here so that we're actually setting that information. So I just didn't add that into the other one. So Control C. You need to put this at the end on the teleport to. So teleport to dungeon. This all is lovely. We'll paste that into there. So now it's going to save the return location. When we actually tell it to teleport to the dungeon, it's going to remember where we just left from. Oh, excuse me, I didn't connect that. Come on, save. And teleport to hotel, same thing. Just need to add that in there and connect it to the player. Alright, so now everything should be perfect. And any last questions on the concept of teleporting to and from places? So now I'm here, I go here, I'm now in the location that I wanted to go to, but now whenever I go over here, I teleport back to where I left from. So same thing here, I was on top of the pad when I left, so now I'm going to come over here and teleport, I'm back on top of the pad. I'm on the left house, teleport, ooh cool, I'm in the house. Come back over here, teleport, I'm outside the left house. So if I go and teleport from the right house, and now I'm going to teleport back to the right house. Alright, excelente. So for your hotel, and you want to have 50 rooms on each floor, all you now have to do is just create your hallway, put your door frame in your door, maybe a little number plaque by the door to say this is room number 5 or 12 or 97 or whatever. As long as the interior of all these rooms are identical, all you have to do is make one room interior and that's it. One room interior. Okay, you want to have another one that's actually a luxurious home or luxurious hotel room. Okay, so same deal. I'm going to go to my luxurious room in my hotel. Oh, this is a great room. Look at all the room I got in here. There's plenty of room. So there we go. And it's saving it on the player character. I'm assuming you could set this up to work in multiplayer to replicate easily by what would not be appropriate for replication for a multiplayer. That's a player controller, so that's good. Enter the portal. This right here is referring to your player character. So this would be the only little thing that will stab you in the butt crack for not working appropriately for displaying and hiding, or at least hiding the widget. The way this would be a problem, I think, is if two people totally unrelated to each other, different areas of the map, are trying to enter a door, and they're standing there and they've got the prompt up in front of them saying, would you like to enter, or hit E to enter, or whatever, and it's going to ask, are you at the teleporter? And if they are at the teleporter by some strange reason, then yeah, it's going to go ahead and remove their frickin' thing from them. Worst case scenario, they have to step off of it and step back onto it. But instead of getting a reference to the player character, you know, I think this would work just fine. If it becomes a problem, I'll find a workaround to it. But like I said, if you're designing a hotel and you want this to be your primary hallway, and these doors right here go into the hotel rooms, but this door over here goes into the kitchen room or the dining hall or whatever, you could set up this big huge freaking place and all the interior rooms are just scattered all over the freaking map. And if you're using sound attenuation for your sounds, anything that's going on inside these other rooms, you're not going to hear. So if I'm in this room right here and Skippy decides to come over here and go into this room, and he murders a cat. I'm not going to hear the cat get murdered or him get murdered by the cat because of sound attenuation. It's going to block it. I'm not going to hear anything over here. The only time I'll hear it is if we're in the same room together. That's a hell of an easy system to set up for teleporting in and out of rooms. Cool, cool. Any other questions? It's 20 after 7 in the morning, and I've been up all night long. Can't sleep. I have to keep taking medication every few minutes. I got sinus cold still. Getting over this flu bug and damn near pneumonia with a chest congestion is starting to ease up. Got a toothache. That was fun. So I've got that under control a little bit with some pain meds and yeah, my old friend Enbasol. And the hurricane's on its way. So yeah. Any final questions on this? Do I need to package this up so we can actually take a look at it? I think I still left the M key. Press M to put on a mask. I know, pointless, but whatever. That was part of another thing. I could actually package this up so you guys take a look at it. The only reason why I won't put the actual build files for this is because it is a which I'm going to get rid of these other, and this is that. I don't need these maps. I could actually package this up and put it up as a quick demo so you can see it working and we can test it in multiplayer, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't need those maps, so I can delete those, and I could actually do this here. I don't want to delete it yet. No, I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to go ahead and do this at F2, Control C. I'm going to add this to my main menu, and alright, you guys see nothing. You see nothing. This is part of my simple multiplayer Steam template. I don't want to like zoom in and give you guys all my secrets. This is the only thing I do that makes any money for me. So now, if we go to the, I don't need you anymore. Get rid of you, and then I'm gonna have to go to File, no, Edit, Project Settings. Come on, open up, and Packaging. I don't need the lobby map anymore, so let's go with this was a menu test. You know, just doing it in whatever project that I was working on. My documents, Unreal projects, and this is menu test. Content folder, maps, and teleports.umap. So now this should work. So if I package it, it should be good to go. So now save all, everything is good. If I go to my main menu map and hit play in standalone, this will simulate actually playing it as a regular game. I can package it up and this is what it'll look like, but it'll be full screen. Menu comes up, and what was I doing? Menu test. Really? I have a project that I just opened up, a random project here called Menu Test, and I didn't do anything to the frickin' menu. I just was doing this for demonstration. If you wanted to, you could put a roof on there and lighting and furniture and all that kind of stuff. I just didn't care. I just wanted to do this as a demonstration. So you hit play. Now we're in here. We can come over here. No problem. It's lovely. Come back over here. Teleport. Everything works. Main menu and exit game. if it matters, I can. If you know, if your OCDs are saying, "Oh my God, would you please put a damn roof on there?" I'll put a roof on there if it'll make you happy. I promise. It won't take but a couple moments to do it. Let's go right back to the map and zoom my buttocks right over here. I'll put some furniture in there, and I'll put a ceiling on it. Oh, that's the wrong one anyway. I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going in this map. There we go. So now once you're in there, I mean, you're able to look around and stuff like that. Like I said, the only reason why I didn't put a roof on there is because this was just a teleport example project. But, I mean, I can go into the Polygon towns where this came from. And buildings. And let's see, house deck. I need ceiling. Garage floor, interior. Actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Control C, Control V. Nope, not at all. Not what I need. Some of them are double-sided textures. Like these walls right here are actually double-sided. So you can see there and there, but there's a gap in between. So it's meant to kind of give the dimensional aspect of the room actually having dimension to it, or the house having dimensions to it. Interior wall. What's it called? Shop floor. What's the ceiling called? Interior stairs. Exterior walls. You would think it would be called ceiling, but as much as I love the guys from Cindy Studios, they're from New Zealand, so they name things a little bit differently. So just got to figure out what they called it. Interior floor, house interior ceiling. Okay, well there it is. So I drag it in there. I can't see it, but it's because it's only textured when you look up. So let's actually turn my snapping back on. And let's try to do this the right way. I know that should be 0, and that should be 0. 9800. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to get it to where it snapped to a 10. So now I can do Control C, Control V, and that should 0. No, I can't see it because it's a one-sided texture. So it should be 10,000. Yeah. And that needs to go over a little bit. Not 9,700 though, that's too far. See, I just can't see on the interior. So I can just do that, and let's do Control V one more time and line it up here. I can't see you, damn it. So do that and that and that, and that's good. Control C, Control V. Now what's going to happen is it's going to be dark. And let's go ahead and hit play in selected viewport. Let's go over, pop into the house. And okay, lighting is okay. See, we hit our head on the ceiling. We're all good to go. Are you happy now? I mean, good Lord, make me have to put a damn ceiling. You see all... No. So if you're happy with it, then okay. What, you want furniture too? I mean, good Lord. There's just no pleasing you people, is there? You know? You want me to put a damn school bus in here with it? Or how about a, you know, a car? I can put a car in there if you like. I'll just put a sofa in here. And that green sofa just doesn't go with the walls. Man, that's just terrible. So let's go with the brown sofa. Love these assets, man. Good stuff. I happen to just choose the one house that's the smallest one on the freaking thing, but doesn't matter. It works. So if you wanted to, you could actually get really decorative and put ceiling fans and that kind of stuff in. I actually did a working version of their ceiling fan. I'll show that really quickly, just for giggles. I'm not going to fully do the interior of this. It's just a demo. If you want to make your own lights, you could do that. But there is a ceiling fan. Where the hell did you go? There's a toilet brush. Vending machine. Couple different kinds of toilets. In case you wanted some versatility in your pooping lifestyle. But yeah, essentially the ceiling fan, or a regular fan if you've got one that is set up correctly. Right there. Ceiling fan. Let's actually put this at 0 and 10,000. Elevation, we just want to bring it up just a wee bit. Stick it to the ceiling. Good enough. Perfectly in the center. And I've got the blades, but I'm not going to put the blades in. I am going to come over here to my assets and stuff folder, and I'm going to right click and I'm going to make a new blueprint. Actor fan blade. I am going to drag its buttocks over here. I'm going to go back into my props folder. Well, absolutely. You want to have little things, little variety, a little bit of the little small touches. So I'm going to select my ceiling fan blade here, go back into my blueprint, add component, static mesh, and there it is. Nice and simple, right? And then I want to add a rotating movement. And lovely. Now, if I really wanted to be trick about this, I'm only putting in one in this building, but what I have done is actually created a restaurant where there was like 9 ceiling fans, and the rotating movement, you can actually adjust the speed, and I set it up as a variable in a random integer and range, and it would have a random speed, so every single solitary ceiling fan in the restaurant was moving at a different speed, and it added a nice touch to the ambience to that. So let's actually test this out, see if it works. So that's the light for our ceiling fan. So let's go back over here to our stuff folder, grab our fan blade, grab it in here. We want 0, 10,000, and we want to raise it up to where it looks right on here. Actually, let's drag it down just a hair, so it just kind of sits on top of there. It's not realistic. It's missing part of the fan, like the fan motor. But was there a fan motor? Just the light and the blade. Yeah, there is right here. So I can actually grab that, drag it in here as well. And I want to set my coordinates 0, 10,000, and I want to go ahead and just drag that up here so it looks like it's holding the blades correctly. Let's move my blades up just a little bit. Just move them down so I can get this in position correctly. The light, I want this to be dropped down just enough in the ceiling, and I'm going to grab my light and pull it back up, and then grab my blades and move it back up to here. Get it lined up perfect, or close enough. So now we have a ceiling fan in our room interior, and let's go ahead and, just because I'm just feeling froggy as hell right now, I'm going to put some more furniture in here. I gotta. It's just one of those things. Yeah, everybody's always got that nice chair, but let's go ahead and dump that. I'm going to put the green sofa in because I got a matching chair to go with it. And welcome back. So we're just adding some polishing touches to my little humble hotel rooms. Till there, we got a chair, and let's go ahead and put that in the room. Let's set it crooked in there. Looks better that way. And why not? It's a hotel room. Hey, welcome. Guess to have a bed in there, right? I gotta have a bed in the hotel room. This is some weird German hostel thing with like bunk beds and junk. God, who would ever be in Germany? Okay, disclaimer. I love Germany. Spent some time in Berlin, and I really desperately want to go back. Ich liebe Berlin. Meine Deutsch ist schlecht. Spreche ein bisschen. Put a piano in there. You know, hotel rooms need pianos, right? God, I mean, I can't say I cannot sleep without a piano next to my bed. Where the hell's the damn beds? There we are. We don't want a nice bed. Let's just put like that one in there. And okay, I'm done screwing around. There's no bathroom, so we will pretend this is a freaking German hostel. Again, just being sarcastic. I did stay in one German hotel that I didn't normally stay in hotels in Germany, but the bathrooms weren't in the rooms. They were down the freaking hallway. It was like one or two bathrooms, and then like the whole floor shared those couple bathrooms. I was in Berlin for 2 years, and I absolutely loved it. Of course, we're talking about back then. That was in 1988 through 1990. I was there when the Berlin Wall came down, which was a hell of a cool thing to be part of. The people, oh God, I have friends, you know, female friends that I knew of from then that we have stayed good friends still today. And we're talking about 1988 through 1990. And Biggie, love you, sweetie. Kimmy, love you, sis. The two of them, I've known them since then, and I still talk to them pretty regular. You know, through Discord and through Facebook and that kind of stuff. And they are my friends. They will always be my friends. They'll always have a special place in my heart. I would always love them. Yeah, well, told you guys I'm an old bastard, so you know, I'm just one of those things. There, I put some flowers on the counter. There's no TV in here, though. It's a cheap hotel. There's no TVs. Alright, well this, screw this crap. Let's hit play. And now we got this junk right over here. They work. They were just part of the throw around. But let's go into the hotel room. We're in the left hotel room. Go in here and see our ceiling fan now turns. Isn't that lovely? Got a bed, got a little flower over here, and got all this stuff. And I feel like putting on a mask, so I'll walk over here and go rob a liquor store. I see I'm on the left. Go back over here to the right, and it goes to the hotel room. So I'm sure you could come up with some way of like the position of this flower vase on the counter. You could set up a clamping value probably and a vector location and set the X and the Y location of it to vary so that every time you come in here it could be in a different location. There's little things you can do here and there to see, left, right. We're good. Everything works. We're awesome. So, any questions on this stuff? Before I end up taking a freaking sleeping pill so I can actually get some damn rest. It's 20 minutes till 8 in the morning and I still haven't been to bed yet. And I'm not really super tired. My eyes are getting dry and it's daylight outside, so I need to at least try. Because the hurricane should be hitting us this evening. So, I probably need to get some rest because it's going to be a rough, bumpy night. So, is there any other questions of this stuff? For the actual teleport system utilizing our components, let's actually go ahead and recap everything here. And all that I've done was I created for the doors of my hotel room, each of those doors, this right here and this right here is the exact same thing. It's the interportal. It's all it is this pops up. It's a widget. Press E to enter, and on the graph all we did was tell it on the event tick to check to see if we're at the teleporter. If we're not, then go away. So the actual blueprint itself that's sitting in front of these doors across all down the hallway, you could have 57 of these damn things. I mean, I can put as many as I want in here, and I just put in 2 just for that same example. It's exactly the same blueprint. And all I've done is whenever you step into this little box collision, it automatically casts to your player character. I built the struct. We'll look at the struct again here in just a minute because it stores my locations for where these things are going to go to. I want to go to the hotel room interior. So we got it called house coordinates now, but then it sets the teleport coordinates for our player base and then sets a return location based on where we're standing. So if I walk up to the left, room 125, I go into the hotel room. When I exit the hotel room, we're going to come back out to the outside of room 125. It remembers where we left from, so we can go directly back to it. And if we're not at that little box, then it says, okay, no, we're not at the teleporter anymore. Really simple. Covered this in the first part of it. The struct, all it has is in the house coordinates, which is the interior of our hotel room now, the hotel location, the dungeon room, whatever these vectors we want, which are the teleport coordinates, so we can save them inside there. A structure is just a way of saving variables that you can call from any other blueprint. You just right click, and it was under blueprints and structure, and all you do is just go in there and okay, this one I want to call frog penis, and I want it to be a variable type of a skeletal mesh. Yeah, my game needs it too. I need people to work on my game. So, skeletal mesh reference, and then I can get the skeletal mesh of the frog's penis and put it in there. You know, you could save materials anything you can store as a variable, you can put into a structure and call that information anywhere else you want from any other blueprint. Contract work, just get with me on Discord sometime. My simple multiplayer template that I use for all these projects is $20. That gets you a working, well, like, I'll just show you again. Let's save all this stuff here. You got a basic menu, and it gets you the ability to create that multiplayer menu. You can change the menu however you want to. I just put in a little symbol format. It's Steam based, so it used your Steam avatar and Steam username, upper right hand corner of the screen. If you want to do multiplayer or single player, you can host or find. If you want to find a game, you click on find. If nothing shows up, you can click on find lobby and it'll refresh. If you want to host a game, click on host and make a game. Hit make. You put the name of it in there, and off you go. So, boom. We went into our hotel room. We're tired of this room. Let's head back out. There's nothing in there. Let's go to this one. Same. Looks the same. So, there you go. That works. Want to come over here, teleport to this location. Wow, awesome. So I come over here, teleport back, teleport away, and wherever the hell the damn thing is, right over here, and teleport, and I went right back to where I came from. Awesome. Main menu and exit. If anybody wants me to package up this demo so you can see it, that's one thing, but honestly, it's just not really that important. But like I said, the simple multiplayer template, all it does is get you there, get you into the ability to host and stuff, host and find games. From there, you can see how it's built, and you can build on it from there. Multiplayer replication, I don't do the extra little bits. I can do it, but I don't like it. So, yeah, if you're looking for someone to do replication for your animations and stuff, wrong guy. Sorry. Find John Galt. Does kick-ass work. He's a grumpy old fucker like I am, but he does good work. Not saying that I don't, but he works on commission as well. He works per job. He's an independent contractor. So if you look up John Galt on YouTube, you can contact him through there. I'm sure he could use the work too. So, but like for this, the menu system, like I said, I sell it for $20, and that's just to help support me and the fact that I can't work. And for those of you who do know, the Hurricane Florence is just hit just north of where I live. I live in South Carolina. It's hit North Carolina. It's on its way down this way now. It's moving south, which is weird for a hurricane to make landfall and move south in this area. But it is, and it'll be here tonight. So hopefully I won't have much in the way of damage, and it should be okay. But I keep everybody advised on my Discord channel, let everybody know what's going on. I'm going to go ahead and take a break for now, and I might answer a couple questions on Discord. And again, I'm leaving my Discord on idle, so my status is going to show idle. So whenever I go to lay down, I'm going to change that to do not disturb, so it'll go from yellow to red. But if you don't see me in the upper right hand corner of Discord, so just an example like that right there, if you don't see my name up here in yellow or red, that means that I am without power. So alright, I am going to get out of here. And Avon, thanks for saying hello. Sorry. This is why I don't like to deal with a lot of stuff while I'm actually on live stream. I don't like to answer a lot of stuff. Depends on what it is, man. Make it quick, though. because like I said, it's 8 o'clock in the morning almost, and I want to go to bed because I have a hurricane that's going to be destroying my neighborhood tonight. How to add a mesh to another mesh and keep it as one. You're talking about like on a player, you want to add like a pistol or a rifle or something like that, or a weapon to their hand, or well, for an example here, no, wrong map, loaded teleport map. Play in selected viewport. So as I'm standing here, look at my face. Look at my character's face really closely. And now look at him. I'm actually changing his hair is actually removable, and I am replacing his hair with a mask. So is that similar to what you're talking about here? The fact that I'm adding a mask to him by I hit a key press, and it's putting a mask on. Hit the key again, it takes it back off. Let's keep. I'll look at that project later. Like I said, I'll get that everything worked on. I'll try to get some of it done today if possible, but you know, I got still a few more things to get ready for the hurricane. So whenever I get up, I want to actually start cooking some things so that I have it pre-cooked, and then I can freeze it. So as it's thawing out, I have gas, so gas stove. No, I have gas too, but I have natural gas here. Yeah, so pretty much what I've done with this character right here to add the mask in, and I did this in another video, and there's multiple ways of doing it, but all I did was, let's go to my character, blueprints, was somewhere in here, M. The character itself has headgear. He has hair. And his hair is actually not part of his character. So if I take and make it invisible, his head is missing his hair section. So what I did was I added it as an extra mesh here called headgear. And for the particular mesh that I'm using for his headgear is hair. But what I'm doing here is in my event graph, I'm changing the static mesh. It is a static mesh in this particular case. For his headgear, I'm changing it from hair to a mask, and then using the key press of M to do a flip-flop. So the first time I hit the letter M, it changes his hair to a mask. And then whenever I hit it again, it changes it back to his hair. So I can toggle between it that way. If you want to add an item, essentially what I would do, if it's something that's going to be a common factor for lots of characters, like a backpack. If you have a small backpack and a large backpack. Or the other example that I had that was in here and I took it out was these characters in a duffel bag. Yeah, see, my system, all you have to do is just migrate it in, and the main importance of anything on my multiplayer template is the fact that you have the UI. It's going to give you the main menu map, and whenever you first load the game, that's the whole important factor of it, is it has the background stuff to actually get people to host and join your game. So if I want you guys, if I take a few minutes to package this and upload it, and I go into multiplayer and I host a game, and you guys want to find me and join me after you download this, you can hit find and look right here. Yeah, it's only $20 on I only take PayPal because I've gotten screwed way too many times on Patreon, so I only take PayPal. So you host a game and then hit make, you put a name in there, and now as I'm running around here, you guys find my game, you can jump in here and run around and check things out, and then go check out the different rooms. The teleport should work just fine with replication and stuff. The rest of the game, entirely up to you. You can build your game the way you like. So you hit main escape, brings up that menu, and hit exit game. Good to go. So what I'm going to do really quickly is I am going to package. Actually, I need to make a folder for it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to create a folder, and all I'm going to do is just go to my F drive somewhere. It's here. Okay. New folder. I'm going to call this you asshole. Why you gotta be such a dick? F2. We want to call this our teleporter demo. So now, teleporter demo. I'm going to leave that there. And even though that's not what it's going to save as, it's going to save as menu test. File, package project, Windows 64-bit. And I want to go to that folder, teleporter demo, select folder, and it's either going to work or it's going to fail, but it should work. If it doesn't, and it did not, because it's got the same key thing. So what I need to do is go to my project, and since I'm using a clone version of my stuff, let's go to menu test, intermediate folder, delete. I don't like you anymore. The intermediate folder is not necessary. It saves some other information, but then I want to go to edit, project settings, packaging. Nope. No. Let's open back up one more time. Project settings. When you first open it up, you look down here. You see project ID. I'm going to hit generate and give it a new one, and there we go. And just go ahead and hit the X there, and yes, I know it failed. Shut up, go away. And let's try to package again. Teleporter demo, and let's see, it didn't clear the old data, so that's why you still see the red there. So that's the old failure. It's not anything to do with the current version. And I'm trying to put where the hell the damn thing is. Yes, I am wearing my old Palmetto State Armory staff shirt, because I used to work at Palmetto State Armory, and they're a bunch of shit monkeys, staff-wise. Products are good. I like the products. I got plenty of their products. Usually have some of their products within reach. Put my headset down for a second while this is packaging. And no, this isn't one of their products, by the way. This is in case of looters. So. You have to watch the first part of the video. Explain all that. These videos auto-save anyway. I even recapped here a few moments ago. And to make it where you can go inside the house if you got the house from Blender. Doesn't matter. The exterior of the house is one thing. It's totally separate from the interior of the house. That's why I did the example was using the Polygon Town asset pack. Socket parent, that's easy. I'm packaging a project right now, so it's just about done. So give me a second to finish packaging. So almost done. Yeah, all you need to do is whenever you're like the hair that I put on my character and the mask that I put on my character. It'd be a prime example of how I'm doing that and parenting it. What the hell was that? Some kind of mismatch. Error. Serializing properties, structure property, game asset, teleport house, struct, unknown structure. What the hell do you mean? Property teleport struct of teleport struct has a struct type. How many freaking times can you put struct in one damn sentence? Jesus. Teleport house. If that got rename, add an entry to active structure redirects. Okay, it's speaking in circles right there. So in that structure, house chords, there shouldn't be anything else pulling reference to anything but those three items. Yes, dismiss. Go to hell. So teleport from house, it's only referring to stuff in the player character. There is no references here. Compile and save. There's nothing there. Teleport house. The structure. Why do you have a drop down arrow if there's nothing to drop down? So you got house coordinates to hotel and dungeon. That's fine. House location doesn't exist anymore. I thought I deleted that damn thing. Okay. Teleport struct is fine. To dungeon. That's all good. Why is this being a problem? And this is teleport to hotel. So we should have 3 twos. To hotel, to dungeon, and house coordinates. Everything is there. Everything is right. The naming is kind of screwy, but whatever. Yeah, I don't know what this thing's problem is. Everything's good. Essentially, in your player character, once you add a static mesh, in this case I added in the headgear, which is the hair in this case, or the mask, or whatever I put for headgear. All I did was I added a component, static mesh, and then once I had it selected, you get sockets, parent socket, add socketed to the head. If you don't have a socket you want to add something to, say for example, I want to add a couple things here. I want to add in a holster and a pistol in the holster on my player's hip. Good example. Quick example. So I'm going to go to my mesh and go to my characters, but since I'm doing a don't think I'm using the towns. Let me look at my player really quickly to see if I'm using anything custom. Polygon heist, NMBP. Nah, I should be good. Just making sure that I'm using a specific skeleton here. So if I want to add to my character, I want him to have a holster on his right hip and a gun in the holster. Or I could just do a bag or whatever, but you know, it doesn't really matter what I'm adding on here. Let's look at the props, see if there's anything that I can just add onto his back or what have you. Heist. Show me the money. Show me something good here. New items. You know what? Let's keep it simple, stupid. Got a duffel bag, empty. I don't think I've got any backpacks. A duffel bag. Got a pumpkin. Put a pumpkin on his back. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'll just put the duffel bag. There's another way that I can do the duffel bag, but it won't show you what you're looking for. You know what? Screw it. I'm just going to put the hammer. Screw it. I want to put the hammer in my dude's hand. So the one thing I need to do first is, if I want to add it to his hand, I need to have a socket on his hand. So I need to go to the skeletal mesh for the character. So when I look at my player's skeleton, I want it to go on the right hand. So I'm going to find the right hand in here, and I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to select add socket, and there was a hand socket right there. I want to call this my main hand, all one word, 2 capital letters. Lovely, right? So now I want it to go where I need it to go, but how do I know that I have it in the right position and so forth? Well, first off, I'm not using this particular character. I'm using the male FBI character, but it doesn't really matter. I can do preview controller, change to a specific animation, and then select the idle animation. And why in the hell are you not? Well, you can just eat my ass. Just crash all the hell and back. I don't care. That was just annoying as shit. I haven't had these kind of problems until 420. 420 has just annoyed the living dog shit out of me with so many little miscellaneous issues. Let's see. I'm going to close the player back down. I don't need him right now. So let's go back to Polygon Heist, Meshes, Character, go back to the skeleton. There is no preview mesh whatsoever. Frickin' lovely. Characters, player, no. Where the hell did you go? I mean, seriously. Seriously. And now why are you there? You're not a heist character, you're a town character. Okay, settle down. It'll be okay. So I'm working on a project that I haven't worked on before in a while. So apparently I'm not using the heist skeleton. Normally I create a mesh folder. So apparently I had Polygon Town in here already. So let's go to mesh folder, character, and apparently this was the one that I was using. So let's go ahead and do this all over again. Because, yep, SWAT glasses. So I am using this one. So, again, find your hand R, add socket, and I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to rename it to main hand. And then I want to right click, and I want to add a preview asset, and it's a hammer. Wow, I have like 4 of them. Polygon Heist, Polygon Town, Town, and Town. So I just want the one from Polygon Heist. It's good enough for me. So now whenever I put it on there, if you noticed, it's not in the correct position. So all I need to do is just rotate it around. And I need to move it so that it looks like it's in the right position, but he's in a T-pose. So what I need to do is, first off, I want to go to the character that I'm actually using, which is male FBI, and let's apply to asset, screw you, and then use specific animation, and the animation that I want to use is third person idle. What I'm going to do is hit pause here, and I'm going to drag back to frame 0. Doesn't really matter which frame you're on, but it does to me. So now I want to select my item here, my main hand, and I want to continue modifying it till it looks right in his hand, or wherever you're putting your item. So, like I said, I'm just gonna get it pretty close because I'm probably gonna end up deleting this also. So, good enough. He's got a hammer in his hand, and we have a socket for it, so it's good. So I'm gonna hit save and close. But now if I go into my map and hit play, doesn't matter where we attach it to, we're on the same skeleton. So you can see it's not in his hand, no problem. So now I need to go back to my player character, player base, go to my viewport. I want to then go back over here and I want to find my hammer, which mine was in heist pack, and it was in meshes and items. So now I'll go back and I want to add components. Actually, I'm going to select the mesh here. I'm going to add component, static mesh, and there's my hammer. Okay, but while I have it selected, I want to go to parent socket, click on here, find my main hand or whatever I wanted it for my socket to be, and there we go. Hammer's in his hand. Compile and save. Now if I go in here to play, he's got a hammer in his hand. Easy enough, right? Hey, let's go to the hotel room. Doop. Okay, we're in a hotel room. Nice little ceiling fan is working. Let's leave this room and came back to where we left from. So everything works. So I don't want to hammer in this dude's hand. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete it. Yeah, it's relatively simple. I mean, all you have to do is just go to the correct, like I did, go to the correct skeleton for your character, and there's nothing in there. So, wrong one. The reason why there's nothing attached to that particular one is because I have the town pack and the heist pack. I've retargeted them all to use the same skeleton. The joy of City Studios assets. I have all of these guys and the other ones all tied in together. If I add another City Studios polygon asset pack, I can just right click on one of the skeletal meshes for the characters and select assign skeleton, or I can select and then shift left click on all of them, right click skeleton, assign skeleton, pick the skeleton I want to go to, and go from there. You have to do it every time for each individual one, but it keeps the correct physics asset, works just fine, and it'll apply that skeletal mesh to your other skeletal mesh, and they're identical, so they're all compatible between them. There might be a few little extra little sockets added in or bones added in, but they still are all compatible. You can make them work that way. I've got plenty of videos on doing retargeting Cinti assets. Alright guys, I'm going to get the hell out of here. It is 8:15. I know I keep mentioning the time. You do that whenever you're old and you're tired. So, it's 8:15. I'm going to try to get some rest so I can get up and deal with this friggin' hurricane tonight. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Again, on Discord, if you see my Discord status of being DND or the red dot, don't bother sending me a message. I'm not going to see it until I get back up. I'll be asleep. And if you see it as yellow, like it is right now, that means that I might be here, I might not be here. But if you don't see it yellow or red for right now, then that means we have no power. Now, once we get everything recovered from after the storm, then I'll go back to most of the time being frickin' invisible any damn way. But at least I'll be there to answer questions. But thanks, guys. Keep up with me on Discord. Keep checking in. And we will see you guys later.